Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Huntsman World Senior Games opening ceremonies. Thank you for joining us tonight. My name is Kyle Case, and I have the pleasure of serving as the Chief Executive Officer of the Huntsman World Senior Games, and I want to welcome you personally to our ceremonies tonight. We express appreciation to our friends, sponsors, and supporters, and special thanks to Dixie State University for the use of the Legends Solar Stadium. Thank you to Dustin Taylor for the sound tonight, and David Hanson and Metro P Incorporated for the staging and the lights. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the field the athletes of the 31st Huntsman World Senior Games.
Come from the fire, living in the fire, go back to the fire, turn the world around. We come from the fire, living in the fire, go back to the fire, turn the world around. We come from the fire, living in the fire, go back to the fire, turn the world around. We come from the water, living in the water, go back to the water, turn the world around. We come from the water, living in the water, go back to the water, turn the world around. We come from the water, living in the water, go back to the water, turn the world around. We come from the mountain, living on the mountain, go back to the mountain, turn the world around. We come from the mountain, living on the mountain, go back to the mountain, turn the world around. We come from the mountain, living on the mountain, go back to the mountain, turn the world around. Oh, oh, so is life, ha, ha, so is life. Oh, oh, so is life, ha, ha, so is life. Do you know who I am? Do I know who you are? See we one another clearly. Do we know who we are? Do you know who I am? Do I know who we are? See we one another clearly. Do we know who we are? See we know who I am? Do I know who you are? See we one another clearly. Do we know who we are? Oh, oh, so is like a body ha, so is like, oh, so is like a body ha, so is life. Water make the river watch the mountain. Fire make the sunlight turn the world around. Heart is of the river, body is the mountain. Spirit is the sunlight, turn the world around. We are of the spirit, truly of the spirit. Only can the spirit turn the world around. We are of the spirit, truly of the spirit. Only can the spirit turn the world around. Do you know who I am? Do I know who you are? See we one another clearly. Do we know who we are? Do you know who I am? Do I know who we are? See we one another clearly. Do we know who we are? See we know who I am? Do I know who you are? See we one another clearly. Do we know who we are? Oh, oh, so is life about me. So is life. shake, shake, Sinora, shake your body line. Shake, 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 Sinora, shake it all the time. Work, 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 Sinora, work your body line. Work, 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 Sinora, work it all the time. My girl's name is Sonora. I tell you, friends, I adore her. And when she dances, oh brother, she's a hurricane in all kinds of weather. Jump in the line, rock your body on time. Okay, I believe you, jump in the line, rock your body on time. Okay, I believe you, jump in the line, rock your body on time. Okay, I believe you, jump in the line, rock your body on time. Whoop. Shake, 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 Sinora, shake your body line. Whoop. Shake, 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 Sinora, shake it all the time. Work, 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 Sinora, work your body line. Work, 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 Sinora, work it all the time. You can talk about cha-cha, tango, waltz or the rumba. Sinora's dance has no title. You jump in the saddle, hold on to the bridle. Jump in the line, rock your body on time. Okay, I believe you, jump in the line, rock your body, child. Jump in the line, rock your body in time. Somebody help me. Jump in the line, rock your body in time. Whoop. Shake, 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 Sinora, shake your body line. Shake, 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 Sinora, shake it all the time. Work, 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 Sinora, work your body line. Yeah. Work, 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 Sinora, work it all the time. Sinora, she's a sensation, the reason for aviation. And fellas, you got to watch it. When she wind up, she bottom, she go like a rocket. Jump in the line, rock your body in time. Okay, I believe you, jump in the line, rock your body in time. Hoist those skirts a little higher, jump in the line, rock your body in time. Off the chimney, jump in the line, rock your body in time. Whoa. Shake, 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 Sinora. Shake your body line. Work, 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 Sinora. Work it all the time. Dance, 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 Sinora. Dance it all the time. Work, 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 Sinora. Work it all the time. Sinora dances calypso. Left to right is the tempo. And when she gets the sensation, she go up in the air, come down in slow motion. Jump in the line, rock your body in time. Okay, I believe you, jump in the line, rock your body in time. Somebody help me! Jump in the line, rock your body in time. Okay, I believe you, jump in the line, rock your body in time. Shake, 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 Sinora, shake your body line. Shake, 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 Sinora, shake it all the time. Work, 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 Sinora.
This is our island in the sun, a world that belongs to everyone.
That is always awesome. I love that parade of athletes. Let's have one more giant round of applause for the athletes of the Huntsman World Senior Games. To begin our ceremonies, the Washington County Sheriff's Office Explorers will present the flag of our host country, the United States of America. The national anthem of the United States will be sung by local children from Diamond Talent Productions. This year, we welcome back, dropping in from up above, Mr. Kurt Bastian, Brad Jesse, and Dallas Carline. All three men have exited the airplane and will be descending the sky in just a few moments. If the wind is in our favor, and we hope that it is, they will join us on the field during the national anthem. After which, the invocation will be given by Washington County Commissioner Zach Renstrom. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the presentation of the colors.
At this time, please let us pray together. Our Lord in heaven, at this time, we come together as citizens of this world to ask a special blessing upon this game and also to thank Thee. Our Lord, we're very grateful for this opportunity which we have to meet together in this beautiful location and to celebrate the spirits of this game, and we come together in friendship. At this time, we'd like to ask, we're grateful for the men and the women in the armed forces and law enforcement that allow us to meet together in peace. We're also grateful for the many volunteers and staff that allow these games to occur. And we ask a special blessing upon these individuals that they know of our grateful hearts for the work that they do to allow us to meet together. We also ask a blessing of these games, that the true meaning of these games will be felt throughout, that we come together as individuals and we will leave as friends, and that this friendship will be carried throughout the world. We ask a blessing upon the athletes, that they will be protected from injury or harm. And at this time, once again, we offer our thanks. In Thy name, amen.
I thought you were clapping for me. Thank you so much to the children from Diamond Talent, the Explorer Post, Kirk and Gay Bastion and their skydivers, and Commissioner Renstrom for that beautiful prayer. I'm sure you know that the Huntsman World Senior Games would not be possible without the generous support of our valuable sponsors. Thank you to our bronze medal sponsors, AARP, Brigham Young University, Brio, Canyon Media Corporation, Cherry Creek Radio, Dixie State University, George S. and Dolores Doré Eccles Foundation, Highlands Incorporated, the St. George Area Convention and Tourism Office, the Spectrum, and Washington City. Please, a round of applause for our bronze medal sponsors. Thank you so much to our silver medal sponsors, the Dixie Center, Intermountain Audiology, Intermountain Live Well Center, Larry H. Miller Group of Companies, St. George Area Sports Commission, Sun River St. George, and the Utah Sports Commission. A round of applause for our silver medal sponsors. A very special thank you to our gold medal sponsor, the City of St. George. And finally, please join me in thanking our principal sponsor, Huntsman Chemical, and the John and Karen Huntsman family. Thank you so much. The Mayor of St. George City, Mr. John Pike, will now offer an official welcome to the athletes of these games.
Thank you, Kyle. It's great to be with you. Isn't this a beautiful night to be here? And of course, you know I had everything to do with that. You know, it is great when it comes through. I just couldn't help think, as I was thinking about welcoming you here once again, about the importance of each one of you that are here. As I recall, Kyle, I think it's around 10,800 athletes that will participate in these games over the next 2 weeks. Pretty impressive. Yep. Give yourselves a round of applause. but I still think it's important that, like our communities that we each live in, that we remember the one. Each one of you make a difference to these games. Each one of you on your teams, if applicable, make a difference to these games and your team. And I think it's one of the great lessons we can learn from sport and from games such as these is the value of each person. And at a time like this in our country and in our world, I think the unity that comes out of participating in these kinds of events is extremely important and a great lesson for us. And I hope that there will be many of all ages who will be watching you over these next 2 weeks. So welcome to the games, welcome to St. George and Washington County, and to the state of Utah and the United States of America. And let's have a wonderful Senior Games. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mayor Pike. That's great. We always feel welcomed here in St. George, Utah, don't we? Our entertainment this evening has been produced, directed, and choreographed by Brian and Melinda Larson. Together, they own and operate Diamond Talent Performing Arts Studio. Featured performers throughout this evening are their students, all local young performers who train in ballet, jazz, tap, contemporary, hip-hop, voice, and musical theater. Joining the Diamond Dancers is an alumnus who grew up training with the Larsons at Diamond Talent. She is a graduate from the University of Oklahoma with a BFA in musical theater, Miss Daisy Wright. Daisy has come all the way home from New York City, where she now lives. She has brought her fiance, Mr. Jordan Barron, also a BFA graduate from OU, and they will perform together tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, performing a medley of hits from the 1960s, please welcome featured singers Jordan Barron, Daisy Wright, and the Diamond Talent Dancers.
Well, shake it up, baby, now. Twist and shout. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, baby, now. Come on and work it on out. Ooh, work it on out. You know you look so good. You really got me going now. Just like I knew you would. Woo! Welcome everybody to the 2017 Huntsman World Senior Games. Thank you so much for coming out tonight. We hope you guys enjoyed the show. Hopefully we'll sing some songs you guys know. Feel free to sing along. All right? Woo! Yeah! Shake it, baby, now. Shake it, baby, now. Oh, shake it, baby, now. Ooh.
You keep saying you've got something for me, something you call love, but confess you've been messing where you shouldn't have been messing, and now someone else is getting all your best. These boots are made for walking, and that's just what they'll do. One of these days, these boots are gonna walk all over you. burned. Ha! I just found me a brand new box of matches. Yeah. And what he knows, you ain't had time to learn. These boots are made for walking, and that's just what they'll do. One of these days, these boots are gonna walk all over you. Are you ready, Boots? Start walking!
I thought love was only true in fairy tales, meant for someone else but not for me. Oh, love was out to get me, and that's the way it seemed. Disappointment haunted all my dreams. And then I saw her face, and now I'm a believer. Not a trace of doubt in my mind. I'm in love. I'm a believer. I couldn't leave her if I tried.
I love him, I love him, I love him, and where he goes I'll follow, I'll follow, I'll follow.
I will follow him. Follow him wherever he may go. There isn't an ocean too deep, a mountain so high you can't keep me away from my love. And where he goes I'll follow, I'll follow, I'll follow. He'll always be my true love, my true love, my true love. From now until forever, forever, forever. Go away, little girl. Go away, little girl. I'm not supposed to be alone with you. When you're near me like this, you're much too hard to resist. So go away, little girl, before I beg you to stay. Sweet talking guy, talking sweet kind of lies. Don't you believe in him? If you do, he'll make you cry. He'll send you flowers and paint the town with another girl. But he's a sweet talking guy, sweet talking has taken you from crayons to perfume. No, it isn't easy, but I'll try. If you wanted the sky, I would ride across the sky in letters that could soar 1,000 feet high to the athletes with love. Mama said there'll be days like this, there'll be days like this. Mama said, Mama said, Mama said, Mama said there'll be days like this, there'll be days like this. Mama said, Mama said, Mama said. I went walking the other day, everything was going fine. Met a little boy named Billy Joe, and then almost lost my mind. Mama said there'll be days like this, there'll be days like this. Mama said, Mama said, Mama said, Mama said there'll be days like this, there'll be days like this. Mama said.
Let's hang on to what we've got. Don't let go, girl, we got a lot of love between us. Hang on, hang on, hang on to what we've got. You say you're gonna go and call it quits, gonna chuck it all and break our love to bits. Breaking up,
I wish you never said
breaking
it.
up.
No, no, we'll both regret it.
That little chip of diamond on your hand ain't a fortune, baby, but you know it stands for your love.
A love to try and find
Such a
us.
love.
We just can't leave behind us, baby.
No, 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 don't you go. Let's hang on to what we've got. Don't let go, girl, we got a lot of love between us. Hang on, hang on, hang on to what we've got.
Hey, life, look at me. I can see the reality. 'Cause when you took me out of my world, I woke up. Suddenly I just woke up to the happening.
don't forget the Motor City. All we need is music, sweet, sweet music. There'll be music everywhere. They'll be swinging and swaying, records playing, and dancing in the street. Oh, it doesn't matter what you wear, just as long as you are there. So come on, every guy, grab a girl, everywhere around the world they'll be dancing, dancing in the street.
Thank you so much for coming out tonight. We hope you enjoy the show.
We're so happy to be here, and we wish you all the best of luck.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Wow, that was fun. Let's have one more big round of applause for those singers and dancers. We're very pleased to have with us tonight, as the official representative for the John and Karen Huntsman family, Paul Huntsman. The Huntsman family has generously acted as the principal sponsor of the Huntsman World Senior Games for the past 30 years. Really, in many ways, it's because of their generous support that the games have become what they've become. It's my pleasure to introduce to you Mr. Paul Huntsman.
Thank you, Kyle. On behalf of my family, I extend a warm welcome to the, I believe we have close to 11,000 athletes here, representing over 30 countries from all 50 states. We'd also like to extend our gratitude to the 3,000 volunteers that we have here. And of course, to this wonderful city of St. George that's located here in one of the most beautiful areas of the world. It's just a great honor to be associated with these games. Our family has been associated with these games for just over 30 years, and the reason that we've been associated with these games is because we have a strong passion for the health and fitness of our community. And I would just add that in the early days, we actually had PSA tests, we had mammograms, and we had a number of preventative tests that we had here, but the games have grown so large that we logistically are unable to have these tests for each and every one of you. So what I would just like to ask of each of you is to be aware of your health and to be proactive, to have these preventative tests so that you can give the gift of health to your loved ones, to your children, to your grandchildren. There's few greater blessings that we can pass on to our posterity than the health and well-being. So good luck to each and every one of the competitors that we have for a safe and healthy competitive games. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Paul. That's such an important message. So please take care of yourselves, get the proper screenings, do what you need to do to come back and be with us next year for sure. Thank you to the Huntsman family. It is true that without you, the games would not be possible. So thank you so much. We appreciate your support. One more round of applause. Tonight, we celebrate 77 countries that have been represented at the Huntsman World Senior Games. Local women from St. George and the Sun River community will be wearing the traditional body flags along with the Diamond Talent dancers. These strong and beautiful women are from our community, and they include our mothers, grandmothers, sisters, friends, and the primetime dancers. Featured again will be Daisy Wright and Jordan Barron. They will be joined by the Diamondtown Dancers performing songs of peace from the 1960s.
Like the first morning, blackbird has spoken like the first bird. Praise for the singing, praise for the morning, praise for them springing fresh from the word. Sweet the rain's new fall, sunlit from heaven, like the first dew fall on the first grass. Praise for the sweetness of the wet garden, morning completeness where his feet pass. Mine is the sunlight, mine is the morning, morning the one light Eden saw play. Praise with elation, praise every morning, his recreation of the new day. Morning has broken like the first morning, blackbird has spoken like the first bird. Praise for the sweetness, praise every morning, born in completeness, fresh from the word.
Here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun, and I say it's alright. Little darling, I feel the smiles returning. Little darling, it seems like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun, and I say it's alright. Sun, 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 here it comes. 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 Little darling, I feel that ice is slowly melting. Little darling, it feels like years since it's been clear. Here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun, and I say it's alright. Here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun. It's alright. It's alright. To everything, turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time to every purpose under heaven. A time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, a time to reap, a time to kill, a time to heal, a time to laugh, a time to weep. To everything, turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time to every purpose under heaven. A time to build up, a time to break down, a time to dance, a time to mourn, a time to cast away stones, a time to gather stones together. To everything, turn, turn, turn. Turn, turn, turn. And a time to every purpose under heaven. A time to gain, a time to lose, a time to plant, a time to sow, a time of love, a time of hate, a time to please. I swear it's not too late. To everything, it's a season, turn, 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 and a time to every purpose under heaven.
under heaven. A time to gain, a time to lose, a time to rest, a time to sow, a time of love, a time of hate, a time of peace. I swear it's not too late.
Isn't that beautiful? I love that. That's always my favorite part of the opening ceremonies. These wonderful ladies, this beautiful representation of the world together. I love it. All of these countries that have been represented and competed at the Huntsman World Senior Games, where our founding principles are fostering worldwide peace, health, and friendship. I don't know how it gets better than that. It's wonderful. Thank you. I have a question. This is an interactive portion of our show. Is there anybody in the stadium that has completed an Ironman triathlon? If you have, raise your hand up high. All right. There's a few of you. That's great. For those of us, the rest of us, who have not had that opportunity, let me explain to you what an Ironman triathlon is. It starts with the understanding that a triathlon is 3 sports: swimming, biking, and running. For an Ironman triathlon, you swim 2.4 miles. That's a long swim. That's a long, long ways. After that, you have a 112-mile bike ride. And that's just the warm-up for a full marathon, which is 26.2 miles. That's 140.6 miles for those of you who are keeping track. It's rightfully considered the pinnacle of athletic achievement. If you've completed an Ironman triathlon, you've really done something. James Lawrence, our guest speaker, has completed 50 Ironman triathlons in 50 consecutive days in 50 different states. And he is speaking at the Huntsman World Senior Games that is for athletes age 50 and over. I don't know what else I can add to that. Ladies and gentlemen, the Iron Cowboy, James Lawrence.
That was awesome. Man, I am so excited to be here. I was honored to get the call to come and speak and address these athletes. One of the biggest questions that I get when I travel the world is, what's next? What do you do after 50 Ironmans? And I was talking to Kyle today, and I know what's next. It's the Huntsman Senior World Games. I've got about 9 more years to get ready, but it's on the list. Yeah, what an unbelievable journey that my wife, myself, and my 5 kids got to do in 2015. We had gone out and broke 2 previous world records. One for the most half Ironmans done in a year, and the second was the most full Ironmans done in a year. And that was 30 full Ironmans through 11 countries in the world. And those were all official events. And I believe I had to do that in order to get to the point where I could even conceptualize doing an Ironman every day for 7 weeks. And in the year 2012, that's when we broke the world record for the most Ironmans. And I had to learn, adapt, and evolve throughout the year. And on one occasion, it was after doing the Ironman in St. George, I went to Brazil, did an Ironman there, and then went the week after to Texas. And I'm in Texas, I jump in the water, and I do the 2.4-mile swim. I came out of the water, and my friend was there. And he looks right at me, and he goes, "James, you're in 12th place." And I was so excited. I had no business being in 12th place. I jumped on my bike, and I started to go. And I was excited. And I started to pick off athletes one at a time. And before I knew it, I was in front. And I was leading the Ironman. Now, what's cool about when you're winning an Ironman, they give you a motorcycle escort so you don't get lost. And I was like, man, I am going to take over this guy too. And but he's got a big bike under him, so it didn't happen. But I got so excited, and I'm pushing the pace, and I'm putting distance on the rest of the field. And I got all the way to mile 100. And at mile 100, I got an incredible cramp right in my quad. And the only thing I can relate it to is that calf cramp that you get in the middle of the night. And you don't know what's happening, you're confused, it hurts, you can't get it to stop. And that was doing it to my quad. And I had a decision to make in that moment, whether I was going to bike the last 12 miles with just one leg, or if I was going to quit. And there's no quit in me. And so I decided to bike the last 12 miles just with one leg. And I got to the end, and I'm like, okay, I just have a marathon to run. If I can get to the run part, maybe I'll be okay. We'll switch up the muscle groups, and it'll be a different experience. I probably won't still win, but man, I can still finish. And so I'm running, I'm fighting. I make it through mile 1, 3, 5, 10, and that cramp starts to move around my body. And it goes into my other hamstring and my other quad and both my calves. My arms started to curl up. And I made it all the way up to mile 17. And at mile 17, every single muscle in my body contracted at the same time. It's one of the most painful experiences I've ever had. And I hit the ground, and I couldn't move, I couldn't run. And my same friend, he runs over to me, and he's got his cell phone in his hand, and I'm like, yes, he's got medical. Medical's on the line, they're coming. He looks down at me and he goes, "James, it's your wife, Sunny." And you don't know my wife, but I knew if I took that phone, she was going to say, "Get up and finish." And there was no way I can do it. And so I looked right at Tyrell and I said, "No, thank you." And that's something that I went to regret later. But Tyrell left, he came back, and he's got the same phone in his hand. He's on it, he's talking. I'm like, sweet, medical this time. And he looks down at me and he goes, "James, it's your daughter, Lucy." And yeah, I'm like, "Sonny, dang you." I can say no to Sonny, but to say no to my daughter, Lucy, was a different story. Now, Lucy's 9 years old at the time. And I take the phone, and Lucy, she goes, "Dad, you told me it was a world record. And you told me you were going to do 30 Ironmans in 1 year. Is there any way you can walk and finish?" And I'm sitting there, I'm evaluating my situation, and I said, "Lucy, I can't." And it was one of the hardest things I had to do because I want to set the best example I know how for my kids. And she goes, "Dad, can you crawl?" And I'm thinking, man, you don't know what 9 miles looks like. And so my answer didn't change. I said, "Lucy, no, I can't." And I could hear her thinking. And then she goes, "Dad, you told me it was a world record. Can you cartwheel?" Now, I can't make this up. She goes, "Dad, can you cartwheel 9 miles and finish?" And in my mind, I'm like, nope. But on the outside, man, what a valuable lesson this girl is trying to teach me. I thought, how is it possible that she has so much belief and conviction in her body that I could possibly cartwheel 9 miles and finish? But I went back and I decided to go all in with what I'd set out to do. And I had Tyrell help me up. We put my shoes and my socks back on and we fought. We started to walk through the night. And I got to within 100 feet, 100 meters of that finish line. I could see it. I could feel it. We'd struggled for hours. And I think I did what any father would have done, and I cartwheeled over the finish line. And it was amazing. Once you have a mind shift change, you can accomplish great things. And we went on to win 2 Ironmans, placed second 5 times, and we smashed the world record. And that truly gave me the belief, thank you. That truly gave me the belief to conceptualize doing 50 Ironmans in 50 days in 50 different states. And just real quick, to put that into perspective, they said, you realize that Hawaii and Alaska are part of the U.S. And yeah, I guess, yes, I'm from Canada, but I understand this. In order to get around all 50 states, we had to start in Hawaii. In order to get from Hawaii to Alaska in time, we had to start the first Ironman at midnight. So don't go to sleep, do the first Ironman, jump on an airplane, land in Alaska with just enough time to get in the water to do Ironman number 2. Finish Ironman number 2, get on an airplane, fly to Washington, and touch down with just enough time to get in the water and do Ironman number 3. So just to recap, don't sleep, 3 Ironmans, 3 days, 3 states, a total of 6.5 hours sleep on a commercial airline, in coach with 5 kids. Now, that is the worst possible way to start a journey where absolutely every single person said it was impossible. Now, we obviously did it, but there was so many struggles and adventures and lessons that we learned along the way. Every single day, I woke up with fear. I was scared because I didn't know what was going to happen on that day. On day number 1, I suffered extreme heat exhaustion in Hawaii. I threw up so violently that my diaphragm got stuck open. And in order to fix that, my doctor said to the assistant, she said, just go over, stand over top of him and punch him in the chest as hard as you can. And it solved the problem, but man, I was scared what was going to happen next. I had 49 consecutive more Ironmans to do. And on day 18, it's 106 degrees in Tennessee, and I could fall asleep in 3 seconds. And I'm talking alert to snoring. And I happened to be on my bike, mile 30, and I lost concentration for 3 seconds. And I fell asleep on my bike and I crashed. And in that moment, I had a decision. Am I going to get back up? Am I going to bike 80 more miles? Am I going to do the marathon that night? Am I going to stuff myself in the back of a Subaru, drive to Mississippi, and do it all again the next day? And the answer was yes, because I said I would. And my word meant so much to me, and setting the example for my kids meant so much to me. And with you guys, I can't think of any other word than courage. And the amount of courage that is displayed by everybody here and all of the athletes to get to this point. You guys are a tremendous example to me of who I want to become as an athlete and the example that I want to be for my kids and the next generations. And you guys are that example. And although I woke up every single day scared, I had to have the courage because I realized a better version of me was on the other side of that fear. And I know everybody here has gone through a lot of different experiences and faced a lot of fears. And a huge congratulations, because that means you guys are incredible people, because you've faced so much adversity and you guys have applied the lessons that you've learned and you've become incredible individuals. Before this, I wrote down a little statement that I want to share with you guys. And it says, you will always find your true limits and your greatest potential the moment you decide to go all in. With enough belief in yourself, hard work and conviction towards the journey, shedding all excuses, there can be no other outcome but success. Greatness prevails when you've given yourself no other activity but success. Failure just cannot exist. I want to wish you guys all a tremendous games and all the best with everything that you do. Thank you.
Thank you, James. That's an incredible story, and that's just a little piece of it. I've had the opportunity to spend time with James today, and he's amazing. One of the things that I love the most about the way that he tells his story is that it's we. And that's not the royal we. He's actually talking about his team, his family, and we all have that, don't we? Don't we all have people that surround us, that love us, that believe in us, that help us? Let's have one more big round of applause for James. Thank you so much. There's no doubt that James has truly taught us that goals are never too high and dreams are never too big. Brian and Melinda Larson moved to St. George in 1997 and soon after started their performance arts studio, where they taught that if you have your heart in the right place and you work hard, you can become a developed artist and a kind human being. Then no dream is ever out of your reach. Over the last 20 years, their students have proven this, and that it's true, and many have grown up to be outstanding human beings and amazing artists that have found their dreams and contributed to their communities and society. In fact, the Larsons have just had their 6th student debut in a Broadway show. In 2000, let's have a round of applause for that. That's pretty amazing. In 2000, at the age of 6, this boy performed his first opening ceremonies right here on this very field. He is now on stage performing in the most popular and successful Broadway musical of all time, Hamilton. You've heard of that one, huh? This little boy, along with our guest artist, Daisy Wright, and many other children who grew up at Diamond Talent, continue to dream big and be inspired by amazing individuals like you, James, and maybe more importantly, like you, the athletes of the Huntsman World Senior Games, who defy the odds and the challenges of life. As we close tonight's opening ceremonies, Melinda Larson will perform with Diamond Talent dancers, "Let There Be Peace on Earth." Let's truly celebrate peace on our planet. In these troubled times, let's continue to pray for peace among nations and within our own communities, especially throughout these wonderful Huntsman World Senior Games over the next 2 weeks. We encourage all of you to take this celebration of peace, health, and friendship with you to your home countries, and let's all commit to creating and celebrating a better world. Thank you for coming and celebrating with us tonight.
Let there be peace on let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my song and vow to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally.
Let the games begin.